Hello students, welcome to my class on computer graphics. I am Shaboni Kundu, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Science and Engineering, Guru Nanak Institute of Technology. Today I will discuss 3D transformation, the translation, rotation, scaling and reflection. So far, in my previous lectures, I discussed the different 2D transformation. So, the 2D transformation is already discussed. In my previous class. So now we will discuss 3D transformation. The 3D transformation is has very similar features with 2D transformation. So as far you know that in 2D transformation, the transformation is performed on 2D plane, and in 3D transformation, the transformation is performed on 3D plane. So if there is a point P, and if I want to represent the point P in the 2D plane, the point P will be represented by two coordinates, one is X and second one is Y. Now if you want to represent the same point P on the 3D plane, so we need some additional coordinate which is called the Z parameter or depth value. So there are three parameters X, Y, Z to represent the point P on the 3D plane. Now we will discuss the different transformation which we can perform on the 2D plane. The same set of transformation we also can perform on 3D plane. And we also can discuss how to derive the transformation matrix. So far, you know that there are different types of 3D transformation. So first one we will discuss is called the translation. So first one is the translation. The second transformation is rotation. The third transformation is reflection. And another one is scaling. Okay. So those four types of transformation we will discuss for 3D plane. So first we will discuss the translation. So you know that in case of 2D transformation, that means 2D translation, for 2D translation, the translation matrix T is nothing but 1, 0, Tx, where Tx is the translation amount, 0, 1, Ty, Ty is the translation amount along Y direction, and 0, 0, 1. So this translation can be performed for a point P which has only two parameters to coordinate X and Y. Now, if we want to perform the same translation in the 3D plane, that is 3D translation, in that case, I have the point P in XYZ, fine. And this point P XYZ is represented in Cartesian coordinate system. Now, if I want to represent the same point P in the homogeneous coordinate system, so it will be XYZ and along with the weight factor 1. So, in our 3D coordinate system, in the 3D plane, there are three parameters, three coordinates. One is X, Y, and Z. Now, if there is a point P with coordinate X, Y, Z, and if I want to translate the point P to somewhere here, so let us say the new coordinate of this point P will be X dashed, Y dashed, and Z dashed. So how we can translate? To perform this translation, we need to translate X in Tx amount in along X direction. We have to translate the Y value. We have to perform some addition with Ty with the Ty value with Y, so that we can translate the Y to the Y direction, Y dash position. Similarly, to translate the z to the z dash position, we have to add the translation amount tz with z. So what we can say? We can say if p dashed is the new translated coordinate of the new translated point, so which is x dashed, y dashed, z dashed and 1. So we can say that x dashed is nothing but x plus tx, where tx is the translation amount along x direction. Y dashed is y plus ty and z dashed is z plus tz. Okay, so how we can perform this addition in terms of the matrix multiplication? So we can define a translation matrix T in this way, where this will be 1 0 0, this is x, this is y, this is z, and the weight factor 0. Again, this is 0 1 0, sorry, this will be not 0, it will be tx, because I have to add tx unit, so it will be tx. This is tx, and along y direction it will be 0 1 0 ty, and along z direction it will be 0 0 1 tz, and this is our weight factor. So this will be the translation matrix for the 3D plane. So how we can perform this translation? We know the point P, we can represent the point P in the vector form. So it will be x, y, z and 1. We note the T. Now new point P dashed will be something like x dashed, y dashed, z dashed and 1. So what we can do, we can write P dash is equals to T dot P. That means if you multiply this T with P, then you will get the P dash. So that's why we can write it something 1 0 0. We will rewrite the translation matrix T 1 0 0 tx, 0 1 0 ty, 0 0 1 tz and 0 0 1 0 1. Okay. Along with that, we will write x, y, z and 1. And if you perform this matrix multiplication, you can see 1 will be multiplied with x and tx will be multiplied by 1 and rest of the parameters will be 0. So it will be 1 plus tx. Okay. So it will be 1 plus tx. Next one will be not 1, it will be x. It is not 1. 1 will be multiplied with x. So it will be x plus tx. Next one will be y plus ty. Next one will be z plus tz and 1. Okay. So in this way, you can translate. If you know the points, coordinate of the point, if you know the translation amount, then by multiplying the translation matrix with that coordinate, you can find out the coordinate of the translated point. So this is the translation of any points in the 3-dimensional plane. Now next, we will discuss the rotation in the 3-dimensional plane. So, okay, before discussing the rotation in the 3-dimensional plane, we will discuss the rotation in 2-dimensional plane. So that is called the 2D rotation. Right? So for 2D rotation, we know the rotation matrix R is cos theta minus sin theta, then 0. Then next one is sin theta cos theta 0 and then 0 0 1. Okay. So this is the rotation matrix for the 2-dimensional plane, where the point, we want to rotate the point P xy with respect to origin. So we are rotating this point P with respect to origin. Okay. Now, if we want to rotate the point P in the 3-dimensional plane, so we call it as 3D rotation. So it will be our 3D rotation. So in the 3D rotation, again, the point P has three parameters, X, Y, Z. And 3D rotation is something different from the 2D rotation, because you can see in 2D rotation there is only one transformation matrix, but in case of 3D rotation there will be three transformation matrix, because there are three axes X, Y, and Z. So if you the derivation of this rotation matrix in counterclockwise direction. So this is the derivation. We assume that rotation is counterclockwise. Now if you observe from this point, that means if your eye is in this direction, that means you can see this object will be rotated in YX plane, XY plane. So if you observe along Z direction, so if your eye is over here, so you can see the object will rotate along this XY plane. Similarly, if your eye is along this x-axis, that means if you are observing the rotation of the object along x-axis, then you can see the object will rotate along YZ plane. So while the object will rotate along YZ plane, that means the x coordinate will not change, only the y coordinate and z coordinate, value of the y and z coordinate will change. Similarly, if you observe the rotation, along y direction, so this object will rotate, you can see the rotation of the object in ZX plane. Fine. Again, I am telling, so if you observe the rotation along y direction, the object will rotate in ZX plane. Okay. So that means the y value will not change, only the value of z and x will change. So that means depending on our observation from which axis we are observing the rotation of the object, based on that we have three rotation matrix. One is a rotation matrix Rx, that means we are observing the rotation along x direction. Rotation matrix Ry, that means we are observing the rotation along y direction. And rotation matrix Rz, that means we are observing the rotation along z direction. So if I observe the rotation along x direction, the x will not change, only the value of y and z will change. That means the rotation operation will be performed in zy plane, yz plane. If you observe the rotation along y axis, that means the value of y will not change, only the value of x and z will change. That means the rotation will be performed in xz plane. Similarly, if you observe the rotation along z axis, that means the value of z will not change, only the value of y and x will change. So this is called the rotation along in xy plane. So we will derive the rotation matrix for all three directions. So first I will show you one derivation how we can get the rotation matrix if we keep the if I observe that I am observing the rotation along z axis, that means we are observing the rotation along z and the object will be rotated in xy plane. Fine. So our observation is something like that. So this is our x, y, z. We are observing the rotation in this direction. Rotation is counterclockwise. That indicate the object will rotate in this plane. So what is this plane? This plane is xy plane. So if any point is present on this plane, and if you rotate it from this position to this position, so this is the original position of the point P. Now you are rotating the point P from this position to this position, and it is now become P dashed. So this rotation amount, so this rotation will be performed in this plane. So you can observe that here we are performing the rotation along z coordinate, and z coordinate, as we are performing the rotation along z axis, the rotation is performed on the xy plane. So this plane is xy plane. Fine. So that means only the x and y coordinate will change. So now project it. Now let us see how we can compute that rotation matrix. So as we are rotating the object along z direction, so the point P will be rotated. Suppose this is the position of the point P, whose coordinate is xyz, and this point P will change its position from here to here. Let us say it is P dashed. So the coordinate of the P dashed will be x dashed, y dashed, and z dashed. Fine. So what we will do, you can see that if you join the point P with the origin, that means if you draw a line, so this value of this P to origin O, this is, we can say this is the radius R. Fine. Similarly, if you join the P dashed with origin, this will remain same R, the same R. Fine. So what we will do, consider this rotation angle is theta. So this rotation angle is theta. So how we can compute the coordinate x dash and y dash? But z dash here, in this case, the z dashed will be same as z. I have to compute only x dashed and y dashed. So here you can see, if you draw a perpendicular from P2 on x-axis, you can easily compute this one. So this angle is phi. Let us say this angle is phi. So this distance from, that is from here to here, the distance is r cos phi. Similarly, the distance from point P to here, this distance is r sin phi. Okay. Now, if you draw a line, dotted line like this, so P dash to this point is this is the new y value and this is the new x value. So this is our new x value and the new y value is somewhere here, from here to here. This is our new y value. So what is this total angle? The total angle is theta plus phi. So what we can say that, so what is this distance? That means from this point. So this is my point P dashed. So the distance from here to up to origin, it is y dashed. And this one is this distance from here to here. That means this particular distance. This is my x dashed. So how we can compute the x dashed? You can see this total angle is theta plus phi. That this is r. So what we can say, that this x dashed is r cos theta plus phi, and this y dashed is r sin theta plus phi. Okay, clear? So if we can expand this further, this will be r, it will be r cos theta cos phi minus r sin theta sin phi. And if you expand it, it will be r cos theta sin phi plus r sin theta cos phi. So here we can write it that r cos theta. So what is my r cos theta? This r cos theta is x. So from this figure you can say that x, we can write x equals to r cos theta and y is equals to r sin theta. Fine. So what we can do, we can replace this r cos theta, sorry, this is r cos theta, no, this is phi. So we can say x equal to r cos phi and y is equals to r sin phi. Fine. So what we can do, we can replace this r cos phi by x and r sin phi by y. So it will be x cos theta. So this x value is nothing but r cos phi. So we are replacing this r cos phi by x. So r cos phi will be x. So x cos theta minus r sin phi by y. So it will be y sin theta. Similarly, if you do the same operation over here, r sin phi will be y. So it will be y cos theta plus r cos phi will be x. So this will be x sin theta. Okay. So now, so what finally we got? Finally, we got for the new point P dashed, the rotated position of the point P is P dashed, whose coordinate is x dashed, y dashed, and z dashed. So we know that x dashed is equals to x cos theta minus y sin theta. Y dashed is equals to y cos theta plus x sin theta, and z dashed is nothing but z. So if I represent it in terms of the matrix, so this rotation matrix along x direction, we can write, so we can write the rotation matrix R, this rotation matrix R along z direction. So because we are observing the rotation along z, so we can write Rz is equals to, so z portion will remain same. So first row is the x, second row is y, third one is z. Okay, so z will remain same. So we will write it like 0, 0, 1, 0. And x value will be x cos theta minus y sin theta. So it will be cos theta. So let me write it like the first statement first. So it will be cos theta minus sin theta, then 0, then 0. Next one will be x sin theta. So it will be sin theta, cos theta, 0, 0. Z will remain same, so it will be 0, 0, 1, 0. And the last one is 0, 0, 0, 1. Okay. So this is your rotation matrix along Z direction. Similarly, if you also can derive the rotation matrix along x direction. So if you observe, if you find out the rotation along x direction, definitely the x will not be changed. The rotation will be performed in yz plane. So y will only change. So what we can write? We can write it 1, 0, 0, 0. So x will not change. So the rotation matrix along x direction will be 0 cos theta minus sin theta, then 0, and then 0 sin theta. You also can derive it in the same way as I derived the previous one, 0, 0, 0, 1. Okay, so this is the rotation matrix. If I observe the rotation along x direction, and the rotation matrix if along y direction will be cos theta 0, sin theta 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, then minus sin theta 0, cos theta 0, 0, 0, 0, 1. So those are the three rotation matrix. So once you know the rotation matrix, you know the point set P, you have to find out P dashed. So what you have to do, you can write down P dashed is nothing but the rotation matrix dot So this rotation matrix either x along, if it is x direction, you have to replace it by Rx. If it is y direction, you have to replace it by the matrix Ry. If it is z direction, you have to replace it by the matrix Rz. Okay. So this is all about the rotation, 3D rotation. Okay. Now next, I will discuss the reflection. Okay. So like 2D reflection, the 3D reflection also performed in the 3D plane. So 2D in case of 2D reflection, the reflection will be performed in the 2D plane, either with respect to x-axis or y-axis or with about origin. So here also the reflection will be performed by respect of different plane. So let me write. So in case of 2D reflection, the reflections was performed either about x-axis or y-axis or with respect to origin. Okay. And there are different equations of the straight line. With respect to the straight line, you also can perform the reflection. But while we are discussing the 3D reflection, so in case of 3D reflection, the reflection will be performed either by XY plane. It is not about axis. Reflection will be performed either by XY plane with respect to XY plane or with respect to YZ plane or with respect to ZX plane or XZ plane. Okay. Clear? So let us draw the coordinate system first. This is our X, Y and Z. So this is my XY plane. Fine. This is my XY plane. So if you want to perform the reflection, so some points is over here, anywhere. So this is a point. Okay. So if you want to reflect this point, so consider it is as the mirror. So if you want to reflect this point, that means you have to extend the Z axis in the opposite direction. So if it is a Z positive side of the Z axis, then it will be the negative side of the Z axis. Fine. So if you reflect this point P with respect to the XY plane, so it will be placed somewhere over here. It will be placed somewhere over here. This is the point P dash. This P dash is the reflected point. So in this case, in the point P dash, the XY will remain same, but the Z parameter will be negative. Fine. Similarly, if you want to reflect it, if you want to perform the reflection along XY plane, XZ plane, let us say this is our XZ plane. So you want to reflect it along this XZ plane. So if you want to reflect any point P, this point P along XZ plane, so that means this will work as a mirror, and we assume that Y will extend in the opposite side, and this is the negative Y axis. So if this point will be reflected through this plane, so it will come somewhere here. Okay. So let us say this is, if it is P, then this point is P double dashed. Similarly, so and in this plane what happened? So here all the value Y and X and Z, they will be positive, but only the Y value is negative. Okay. So here the points will be, so the point of P double dash will be, so I am writing over here, the point of P dash, the previous one will be, my XY is remains same, only the Z will be negative, so minus Z. In that case, P double dashed, Y is negative, so it will be X minus YZ. Similarly, if you consider this plane, so this is my plane, this plane is called the Let me draw it straight line. Okay, so this is a yz plane. So if you reflect this point P in the yz plane, so it will come somewhere here. Let us say the name of the point is P triple dashed, and what happened, this x-axis will be extended in this direction, and this is minus x, opposite side. Okay, so you can easily say that for the point P triple dash, the coordinate is very simple. This is minus x, y, and z. Fine. So if we write down the reflection matrix, then reflection matrix are along x direction. So let us write xy, it will be better. So if I write rxy is the reflection matrix. Okay, before that I will show you what is the reflection matrix along x. So if for this x-axis 2D plane, so for the 2D plane, the reflection matrix is nothing but, so if I want to reflect along x-axis, that means the x will be negative. So x will be negative means you want to reflect it along x-axis. So here you can see you want to reflect it along this point is P over here. You want to reflect it, so it will come over here. So x will remain positive, but y is negative. This is y. So it will be 1, 0, 0. This is 0, minus 1, 0, and 0, 0, 1. Fine. So similarly, if I want to write down the reflection matrix in 3D plane, so here not the axis x, we will reflect along xy. So we will write R of xy. That means the reflection along xy is nothing but, so xy, what is the xy? This xy plane, z will be negative. So we can write it 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, and 0, 0, minus 1, 0, because my z will be negative, and 0, 0, 0, 1. So what will happen? You know rxy, you know the point P. So where P is x, y, z, 1. So if you multiply rxy with P, then you will get the P dashed. So we can write that P dashed is equals to rxy dot P. You can write it. Fine. So rxy dot P, that means I'm showing you one case. So it is 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, minus 1, 0, and 0, 0, 0, 1. This is my rxy, and the point P is x, y, 1. So if you multiply it, so it will be something like x into 1. So it will be, x will remain x, y will remain y, but the z, sorry, one parameter is meeting z. So z will be multiplied by minus 1. So it will be minus z, and this is 1. Okay. So you can see we got the coordinate of the reflected point. So what is my P dashed? X, y, minus z. So see here you also get x, y, minus z. Fine. So this is the reflection matrix through xy plane. Now if we wish to write the reflection matrix for the yz plane, so we write it over here that this reflection matrix R for yz plane. So for yz plane, what happened? The y and z point will remain same, z value, only the x value will be negative. So we multiply minus 1 with the x value, and remaining portion will be same. So this will be 0, 1, 0, 0. So that's why the first value for the x, I have written minus 1, so that it will be multiplied with x and the negative sign can be generated. So this is 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1. Okay. And similarly, the reflection matrix along xz plane. Xz plane means the y will be negative. So So we can write it 1 0 0 1 0 minus 1 0 0. It will be 0 0 1 0 and 0 0 0 1. Okay, because you can see the xz plane. For the xz plane, so this p3 dash is the projection, not p3 dash, p double dash is the projection in the xz plane. So while xz plane, the y value will be negative. So here you can see the y portion is negative. So if it is multiplied with the point xyz, so the minus y will be generated. Similarly here in case of yz plane, this p3 dashed, so this one I need to make x negative. So this, while this minus 1 will be multiplied by this x, so minus x factor will be generated. So this is about the 3D reflection. Okay, and the last one is the 3D scaling. Okay, so you can see, you can make it very clear. So it is quite easy. If you, while you will read it, you have to compare. You keep 2D in one side, you keep 3D on another side. So if you read by comparing 2D and 3D, so first try to understand how the 2D matrices is derived. So once you can understand the derivation of the 2D matrix, you can easily understand the derivation of the 3D matrix. Okay, so next we will discuss the scaling. So before discussing the 3D scaling, we will discuss the 2D scaling first. So then you can easily understand the 3D scaling. So in case of 2D scaling, we have to scale, we have to multiply the x by scaling factor, multiply the y by scaling factor. So if P is the point with the value x, y, and if I want to suppose P is the point of any object, so the position will be something like that, x1 y1. So I have a triangle, so it is x1 y1. Next point, this is P1. Next point P2 is x2 y2, and the third point P3 is x3 y3. So if you want to scale this triangle, you need to supply the scaling factor sx and sy. And what you will do, you will multiply all x by sx and all y by sy, and then you will get the scaled triangle, something like that. Okay, so what happened in that case? To get the scaling, for free scaling, I need the translation matrix. So the translation matrix TS for the scaling is nothing but x will be multiplied by sx. So we will directly write down sx 0 0, 0 sy 0, and 0 0 1. That means xx will be multiplied by x and y will be multiplied to y. Now, while we will discuss the 3D scaling, we just add some additional coordinate. So we will discuss the 3D scaling. 3D scaling, and you remember one thing, this 2D scaling which I discussed, it is the free scaling. It is not the scaling with respect to a fixed point. So if you want to do the scaling with respect to the fixed point, this scaling matrix will be same. First you need to perform the translation of the fixed point to the origin and respectively all points to the origin. That means translation operation you need to perform first, then perform the scaling, and then do the reverse translation. That's all. Similarly, I am discussing the 3D scaling. So in case of 3D scaling, again, this is the object in the 3 dimension triangle, 3D triangle. Now, if you want to scale it, maybe it will be shifted somewhere here and it will be scaled like that. Okay. So this will be, after scaling, you get the object like this position in the 3D space. So very simple, that here the point P will be represented. That means that each point of the triangle will be represented by 3 parameters. So this is x, y, and z. Okay. So here x will be multiplied by the scaling factor sx, y will be multiplied by the scaling factor sy, and z will be multiplied by the scaling factor sz. Fine. So After multiplying the new point, coordinate of the new point will be x dot sx, y dot sy, and z dot sz. So this is called the free scaling. That means the scaling is performed with respect to origin. Okay. So if you want to perform the free scaling, the scaling matrix is the scaling 3D scaling transformation TS will be same as 2D. So it will be Sx 0 0 0 0 Sy 0 0 0 0 Sz 0 and 0 0 0 1. Okay. So this is the scaling matrix, free scaling matrix for 3D. And remember one thing, if you want to do the scaling in using the fixed point, it is very simple. You have the point set P, you have the translation matrix T. Okay. So what you have to do? First, you perform the multiplication T with P. That means the translation matrix. So T is my translation matrix. So this is our translation matrix. Okay. So I first I have to multiply the point P with T translate, so that I can translate the fixed point along with all the fixed point to the origin, and similarly the same unit will be translated. All the other points of the object will be translated by the same unit. After performing the translation, we have to multiply this one with the scaling, that means TS, and then I have to do the reverse translation. So that I will finally get the P dashed. Okay. So this is the entire operation, but the multiplication should be done from this to this. That means this one will be multiplied by this one first, then this one, and then this one. So in case of fixed point scaling, I need to perform the same operation as we do for the 2D scaling. So in case of 2D fixed point scaling, whatever the operation we perform, we need to perform the same operation, only the translation transformation matrices will change, and according to 3D transformation you have to write down all those things, nothing else. This is very simple. Okay, so I think the 3D scaling is clear to you. In case of 3D scaling, it is, if you compare both the scaling, so better I write it, it is translation matrix 2S and the translation matrix 3S. 2S means the translation matrix in the 2D, in case of 2D plane, and translation matrix T3S is the in the 3D plane. Fine. So same. So again I am telling, so while you will compare, we'll read the 3D transformation, put the 2D transformation on one side and compare it and write down the 3D transformation. It will be very easy for you for understanding purpose. Thank you for watching my video.